am Ummu Aisyah binti MUKHRE. My matrix number is 1180977.
My name is Muhammad Badrul Amin bin Muhammad TARMIZI. My matric number is 1190573.
My name is HAKIM bin MUSTAFA. My matrix number is 1190515.
Smart home revolution. Can you imagine what if all the devices in your life could connect to the internet? Not just computers and smartphones, but everything like the clocks, the speakers, the doorbells, lights, windows, and cameras. And what if those devices could all communicate, send you information, take your commands? So this is what we're going to discuss today, smart home. But in specific way, our topic today, security and privacy challenges for smart home. So first we need to know, what is smart home? Is it good? Well, mostly people agree that smart home greatly enhance people's levels of safety. You can use smart appliances to monitor your home and your loved ones. However, there are some people arguing about the safety offered by smart home. So what's the problems having smart home? Well, we believe that some homeowners taking the concept of automated living without knowing vulnerability that comes with the smart home itself. And also, can be the person in charge, the architect, didn't choose the right system architecture for the smart home. So, this kind of reasons, in the end, lead the hackers to access our devices. Mentioned before, the users need to understand some risks for home automation. So here are some common problems faced by the user of smart home, like the password exploitation, location tracking, appliance or property damage, third-party flaws, home intrusions, rush recordings, last but not least, data manipulation. How to solve this problem? Well, we believe that there are various ways of privacy and security, but it depends on the environment of smart home itself. An architect first needs to study the environment of the home. Just then, he or she can proceed to choose the right system architecture to secure smart home. In other words, before we program a system, we need to study and understand the strengths and weaknesses. That's why, in our video today, we are focusing on key issues of cyber threat. Just then, we can easily manage the problems. This issue need to be concerned because we all know that smart home can collect and store information of the user usage, habits, and preferences, either on the device or on the network. And all that data make the user's smart home a privacy risk, and every device that the user adds to the network adds a new privacy concern. So of course, homeowners will only can perform some safety steps to protect their privacy. So this issue need to be concerned more by the one who set up the system. That's why we conclude that in preventing cybersecurity breach, architect needs to know some issues regarding cyber threats, which will help in choosing the right system architecture to secure smart home. So let's take a more detailed look at things that the user, the architect, need to consider regarding smart home.
As mentioned in our thesis statement, the user first needs to understand issues regarding the cyber threat. The key issues in cybersecurity and privacy are confidentiality, authentication, and access. Confidentiality is about keeping data private from unauthorized users. Authentication is about verifying that the data has not been tampered with. And access refers to only allowing suitable authorized users to access the resources. One of the most common causes is that most users do not have enough knowledge in handling the IoT devices. They will have made some misconfiguration during the device setup, and this would leave huge vulnerability to attacks. Besides, most users would set a weak password so that they can memorize it easily. This will be troublesome if the same password is used multiple times for other services. Even the user might set a complex password. There will be some constraint on the IoT devices as it has fewer system resources. Also, outdated firmware device will be targeted by the hacker. With all the causes, there will be a big threat to the user. For instance, confidentiality breaches in home monitoring system can lead to the inadvertent release of sensitive data. Even seemingly innocuous data, such as the internal home temperature, along with the knowledge of the air conditioning system operation parameter, could be used to determine whether a house is occupied or not, as a precursor to burglary. Furthermore, the information received by the attacker will affect the family's safety as they are being under surveillance almost every time and everywhere by the hacker. Besides, stolen data can give unauthorized access to the hacker easily. The consequences are big, as the targeted person could lose his properties or even his life. As for that, we are proposing a solution that could solve all those problems by implementing gateway architecture on IoT devices. The reason is, an IoT gateway is a relatively resource-rich network processor working on the same local area network with other IoT devices. This is meant by our home Wi-Fi router. It can not only be a central management point to deal with the coordination of IoT devices, but it can also improve interconnection and interoperability between smart devices from different manufacturers. Also, it can act as a bridge to connect the local IoT infrastructure to the cloud. Since the gateway has more computing power and resources, high computation and memory-rich tasks can be offloaded from IoT devices to the gateway. In terms of security, the gateway can centralize user authentication and apply access control to guard against unauthorized access or modification of restricted data. It also acts as a firewall to protect smart devices and privacy from cyber threat and to reduce the attack surface. As a result, the end user just needs to plug and play the IoT devices without any complicated configuration, as it all done automatically.
As mentioned earlier, the key issues in cybersecurity and privacy are confidentiality, authentication, and access. Confidentiality is about keeping data private from unauthorized users. Authentication is about verifying that the data has not been tampered with, and access refers to only allowing suitable authorized users to access the resources. Thus, it is very helpful in engineering and security architecture to be vigilant on some aspects of security that need to be considered when installing an intelligent systems on a home. Because attacks can be conducted remotely, either by direct access to network interface controller or by downloading malware to devices. Hence, many more aspects about the threats against the smart home system that we must know and aware, especially for architects. They need to know whatever possibility of a threat that could happen to smart home. They must clearly be aware of the cause, how the threat occurred, and how to cope with those security threats. As for that, solution that could solve all those problems is by implementing gateway architecture on IoT devices. It can act like a bridge to connect the local IoT infrastructure to the cloud, which will provide an auto configuration and automatic update for the devices. In terms of security, the gateway can centralize user authentication that can prevent from third parties. Last but not least, it also acts as a firewall to protect the smart devices and privacy from cyber threats, and they reduce the attack surface. In a nutshell, in preventing cybersecurity breach, architect needs to know some issues regarding cyber threats, which will help in choosing the right system architecture to secure smart home. That's all from us. Thank you.